30 seconds. Seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Music starting.
Good evening and welcome to the CTV show. Today we're going to discuss a very important topic that affects thousands of people in our community here in West Michigan. And the topic is housing discrimination and immigrants. And we're going to talk about what issues immigrants are currently facing in our community when it comes to housing and how awkward and sometimes offensive things might be, even when housing discrimination laws may not be violated. But we're going to demonstrate today a dramatization about the right way and the wrong way to take a rental application from an immigrant with non-traditional identification. And we're also going to discuss various ways to combat this issue and take a good leadership role, because you know, if we want Grand Rapids to be the global capital and a welcoming place and a welcoming hub to immigrants across the world, then we really need to focus on housing and what fair housing really looks like. And currently I have a special guest today, Pablo Bello from Grand Rapids Tampa Latino, who will be, he has graciously volunteered his time, and I'm appreciative of any person that's willing to come forward and help and put themselves in a very emotionally vulnerable space. This is not an easy dramatization to do, and again, I want to tell the audience that we are dramatizing this, and we're trying to bring it home and make it real for people who don't understand what it would be like to try to find housing if you were an immigrant that didn't have a driver's license, because currently in Michigan you can't get one. So we're gonna see what that feels like, and we want you as the audience to try to feel that along with us. So we are gonna begin our skit, and then we're gonna do the wrong way, the right way, and then we're gonna have some discussion. And at that time, you are welcome to call in at 459-4881. 459-4881. I really would love to hear from you. This is a very important issue. This is the civil rights issue of our time, and I urge you to call in and share your comments or any experiences you have had, or friends of yours that have experienced housing discrimination, to please call in. Okay, we are ready to start our skit.
Hello.
Hi.
I really like the apartment. May I have an application?
I suppose. Here. You can start filling it out right at the top there.
All right.
It's all in English.
All right.
So, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Mexico. I live nearby. We just need to move.
Oh, so that's where you're really from. That's Mexico, huh? Okay. Well, let me know when you're finished with that.
Oh, it's ready.
Oh, you're ready now. Okay, let me see here. Wow. How do you spell your name?
Pablo.
Pueblo. Pebble? Is that, did I say that right?
No.
Pebble.
Pablo.
Oh, Pablo. Oh, okay. And you said you're from Mexico, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Our family has taco night once in a while. Wow. Wow. So do you have the $20? Got the $20 for the application?
Oh, yes. Here.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. Wow. You don't have a driver's license number on here.
I have my passport and a copy of my tax return
Oh,
with my tax ID on it.
okay. Oh, wow. Let me take a look at this here. Wow. Passport. It's even in English. Are you sure it's real? It's not. I've never seen one of these before. Never. They give these to people? They give these to people like you?
Yes, it was expedited by the Mexican embassy.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know we had one of those. Okay. And a tax return. You don't have a social security number?
No.
Oh. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can help people like you. I don't know what the problem is. You know, people come in here and always want favors from, you know, from us. I just, you know, this is really unbelievable. You know, my system doesn't take, what is this, a tax ID number? I don't have any way to put in passport information. Like, I can't even tell if you're a terrorist or not, you know? I don't even know if it's legal to rent to you people. I don't know about that.
But
just, you know what? I can't help you. I can't help you. You're going to have to go somewhere else.
It's really complicated. I'm in a bad situation and I just need a place to live with me and my children. I work, I can prove it. I pay taxes, I have an ID.
Sir, I'm you know what? You're are you
Is it English?
Are you even legal? Are you an illegal? Are you trying to come in here and peddle this whatever it is to me?
I'm currently
I don't
seeking
look.
asylum with the immigration court, but it takes such a long time to
Oh my
get through
God.
the process.
That means you're not legal. Okay? Like I just can't even deal with this. I don't even know anything about this. I just don't even understand. Okay, you're gonna have to go. Okay? You're gonna have to go. Because I don't even know if that's legal for me to deal with
All
you
right.
people. Okay?
Whatever.
Please go. Okay. And pretend we never had this conversation. Okay. Again, audience, that is a dramatization. I am a real estate professional and a landlord, and I would never, ever, ever treat another human being that way. However, many people in our community currently experience what you just witnessed. They are called names. They are called illegals. We do not accept that type of name calling. That is a dehumanizing term. People that don't have their documents, that may be going through an asylum case or seeking refugee status may not be able to get a driver's license. So we want to accommodate people in any way we can to make sure that they don't become homeless. So now we are going to demonstrate the right way to do a rental application. So we're gonna start over with Pablo. Oh, Pablo, would you like that extra 20 here? Yep, okay. And we're gonna go ahead and get started again. And
Microphone.
oh, it's right here. Oh, Pablo has a set. Okay. Nothing like a Nothing like live TV. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and have Pablo come back into the room. And all these fun little clips. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do the right way. Okay, and go ahead.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
what can I do for you today?
I really like the apartment. May I have an application?
Oh, sure. Here you go. You can go ahead and fill that out.
All right.
So, what brings you to Grand Rapids?
Oh, I live nearby and I stay with my family, but me and my children need to get our own place.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
are you new here?
No, not really. It's stressful to live with your family. You know what I mean.
I know that can be stressful. Okay, well, go ahead and finish the application.
All right.
And okay, do you have the $20 application fee?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, sir. And let's see. I'll take your application now.
Here.
Okay. And do you have a driver's license or a passport? We also ask for either a social security card or a tax identification number would work too.
Oh, I have my passport
Oh, that would work.
and a copy of my tax return
Oh.
with my ID on it.
Oh, great. That will let me know exactly what I need. I can see how much income you have. Wow, great. Everything's all right in order. Well, you do. Wow. And you even have a business. Wow, way to help our community. We like that. So, yeah, we need more businesses to come to Grand Rapids.
Oh, great.
Yeah, wow. We're just trying to grow our city. So anyways, I'm gonna input your information into the system and it will let me be able to check. Have you ever had any evictions?
No.
No? Oh, wow. You're just the kind of renter I'm looking for. I'm going to go ahead and input all your information in the computer, and it will just verify everything that you've put on your application, that it's correct. It will help me understand your credit and if you have any criminal convictions or any court evictions. So how about I give you an answer by 5 o'clock? Would 5 o'clock work?
That sounds good.
Oh, okay, great. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
All right.
Pablo. You said Pablo was your name?
Yes.
Oh,
Pablo.
okay. Well, it's a pleasure. Have a good day.
All right.
Okay. Now it's time has lapsed. It is now 5 o'clock. I'm going to call Pablo. Ring, ring.
Oh, hello.
Hi, is this Pablo?
Yes.
Hi, Pablo. This is Cyndi. I'm the landlord of the house that you looked at earlier today. And I just wanted to let you know that we can continue the process of the rental contract if you'd like to come over to my office at 7 o'clock. Does that sound good?
Yes. Thank you very much. I'm so happy. You have no idea how happy we are. My children will be able to sleep in their own room again. This is a good day for us, which everyone was as fair as you are.
Oh.
You have no idea what we have been through. This process has been so emotional for us. We will be able to get on with our lives now. It is hard being a single parent. My ex-spouse was so abusive and on drugs and drank too much.
Oh, wow.
She wouldn't even help me to get to my immigration court appointments, and I couldn't get a driver's license to get myself here. So now I had to start all over in the whole process.
Wow. That
It will
sounds-
be a long and hard, but thanks to you, we can have a fresh start. Thank you for being fair with us and giving us a chance.
Oh, wow, Pablo, it sounds like you've been through a lot. And you know, it's my job as a housing professional and a landlord to practice fair housing. So I would hope that, you know, it sounds like you've been through a lot, but I would really hope that other landlords could start, you know, opening their door more, because we really need business owners like you, Pablo. And I'm sorry that you've been through so much, and I'm really glad that sounds like you're going to be a perfect tenant. I am, you know, strict on the rent though. I gotta have it paid on time, but I look forward to having a new working relationship with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, click. Now we are going to come over to our chairs and have a discussion. When I'm not, you can take a look in my microphone. Okay. All right. And again, I wanted to, for people that have just tuned in, I want to welcome you to our show. And this has been really exciting for us. We're going to move things around a little bit. It's a small set here, but we're so glad that you can join us today. And here, we'll get this coat off there. So glad that you can join us. The number to call in is 459-4881, 459-4881. And we really want to discuss the topic of housing discrimination, immigration reform, and everything that immigrants are going through when they're going, just trying to find a place to live with their families. And as the role that we had Pablo play today was a single parent with kids. And I'm sure, Pablo, you've met some single parents out in the community that are struggling, trying to find, if they have a house now, I'm sure they've went through a hard time finding a place with a decent landlord or even decent housing that's not in ill repair.
Well, I was wondering if this is a very common problem in the Hispanic community, according to your experience.
Oh, yeah. And I just want to point out, too, that this is Pablo Bello. He is a journalist and has a degree in journalism. And he has a website, grtmplatino.com.
Grand Rapids, Tiempo Latino.
Oh, Grand Rapids,
Tiempo Latino.
TiempoLatino.com. I'm so glad that you're here on the show. Oh, good. And your phone number's listed. So if you are having any issues with housing, that you can refer to the number on your screen and give Pablo a call. So I'm just really glad to have you here. And I know you've been like out in the community and talking with people. And I also spoke with a woman just the other day. She was a single parent, and she was told by a landlord that she had to take a substandard house that was in ill repair because she was an illegal. And anyways, I find that really sad that he would just say, well, here, you're not legal, so you can just take whatever. So, but anyways, oh, it looks like we have a caller. Oh, caller, we lost you. So if you want to call us back, we'd love to hear from you. So call us right back, 459-4881, 459-4881. So again, we're looking for community callers. Want to call in? We have if you have questions. I have been in this line of work for more than it's coming up on a decade now, a little bit longer, that I started in real estate. And so, oh, great. We have Lindsay on the line. Lindsay, hi. Do you have any questions or comments for us today?
I do. Thank you for taking my call. I am a local landlord, and I rented an apartment for a number of years to a family who the parents were undocumented, and I just wanted to say they were some of the best tenants I ever had. They paid their rent on time, and they were very honest. They kept the apartment in good repair. And I just had a good experience, and I want to encourage those people out there who have properties not discriminate against people based on their immigration status, because it's not something that they want to be. When you're undocumented, it's not something that you want. It's something that they can't necessarily help or fix. But they definitely make good tenants, and they're human beings that deserve fair and humane treatment, and to have a fair chance to pay rent and be good tenants and have good housing.
Oh, wow. Thanks so much for calling, Lindsay. But I had a question for you. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, I wanted to know, were you able to get a passport and proof of income from your tenants like you do all the others?
Yes, I was able to. I had no trouble with that. And they had good proof of income. They both went to work every day and paid their taxes and paid their rent and took care of their family.
Oh, great. Well, that sounds really good. Let's hope there's more landlords that are out there willing to do what you're doing. So thanks for welcoming immigrants to our community. Thanks for calling.
Thanks for doing the show.
Okay, you're welcome. Hi, Jim. Thanks for calling.
How you doing?
Good. Do you have any questions or comments today?
Yes, I have applied for subsidized housing, and I was rejected because of past criminal history. And then now that I've changed my life around and doing different things, and praising God and going to church, and I'm disabled, and it was really, they sent me a letter, and now then they turned me down.
Yeah, Jim, I'm really, really glad that you called, and that is an issue for a lot of people with criminal backgrounds, and it's a really difficult thing. I personally will rent to people with criminal backgrounds. The only issue that comes into play is if someone wants to live near a school but has some issues with parole that says they can't, then that might come into play. But you're absolutely right. That makes it very difficult. I've had some female friends that had a hard time getting subsidized housing because they had a drunk driving or, just a petty shoplifting, or we're all human beings, and none of us are perfect, and we all need housing. Housing is a need. It's not just a thing that you might like to have, like a car. It's a need. You need housing. So my heart is with you, Jim, and I do know that there is a new project called 19 to 1 through the Well House, and they're currently putting together some housing. I'm sure there's like a waiting list, but you can get into low-income housing, and I believe it's around $250 a month. And they take anybody regardless of criminal history or whether or not someone is dry or drinking alcohol. It really won't matter, and I would really hope that we can get more places like the Well House. That would be awesome, because again, discrimination hurts us all. And did you have any more comments for us, Jim?
Well, no. It's just that it's heartbreaking, to be turned down, and but they don't, they judge you from your past.
Yeah, unfortunately, people are.
But they don't know nothing about what you're doing now. See, for the last almost 3 years, I've been clean and sober, And when I was turned down, the thought of going back to that old life, it just came to me. But I fought that temptation, and I'm seeing people that doing different other things, but they're allowing these people to come in, and then I'm like, why me? But see, well, sometimes God says why not me?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Jim. I'm really, really glad that you're able to stay on the straight and narrow and stay off drugs and alcohol, and that's the best way to keep on going to be a good candidate for rental property. And one thing I would suggest to people that maybe are coming back from out of the system or rehab center is possibly collect some letters of reference, maybe from your pastor, close friends, the counselor, if you're attending any programs. All of that helps, and I would encourage immigrant applicants that are having a really, really hard time finding housing as well. It's sad, and it breaks my heart that people have to go so far on the extra mile just to, find a place to live that's affordable and decent. So, thanks for calling, Jim, and I'll encourage you to get some letters and do what you can, to reach out to the community that you're in for support. And, my heart is with you. So thanks for calling.
Yeah, thank you.
And again, we're going to talk about some different issues with in our community with immigrants coming to Grand Rapids, and it's not easy for people like Jim either to find housing, and it's a problem.
So what do you need to rent an apartment? What are the requirements?
Currently, we have to rent an apartment. Typically, you'll be asked for a driver's license and a social security card. Basically, with immigrants in our community, it's about 50%. 50% of the people are going to have it, and 50% are not. And one thing I'd like to reach out to landlords is that they understand that many families in our community are mixed status. Maybe you can tell the audience what a mixed status family is.
Oh, well, like my wife is from the United States, and I'm from Mexico. That's what you mean?
Mixed status, like one person is a citizen and one...
Oh, okay.
That's okay. I know, like, you're always out in the community. The mixed status, you can talk about.
Oh, okay. Well, it's when for example, probably the wife is from United States, and the husband is from Mexico or another country, and he doesn't have documents to stay in the country.
Yeah, and then that's true. And then there's another new problem, or a new issue, I should say, with DACA students. They're deferred action childhood arrivals, and sometimes their parents have gotten to the point where they've gotten their immigration status fixed, but they've turned 18, they were brought here when they were a baby, and now they're trying to apply to get a driver's license and their social security card, and that might take a while, and yet they might want to move out on their own, And what are they going to do? They're our new generation. This is their home. They consider this their country. I'm sure you've met some DACA students.
Yes, but it's my understanding that there are thousands of these young people who were brought here when they were children, and now they want to apply for this program for DACA, but many of them don't have money. And there are some institutions such as Latino Coalition who are trying to help them. They are trying to get money to pay for this service, because I think the application is like $400, and and plus you had to pay a lawyer to help you with the documents, and they charge you from $600 to $1,500.
Wow, that can be
So
expensive.
it's a lot of money for a 18-year-old. No?
Yeah, it is. I guess my thoughts were going towards kids that were, going from high school to college, and maybe they wanted to like move in with their friend. One of the issues is, kids can't, that reach 18, maybe can't even go downtown to live near the college if they are a DACA student. Say their parents are helping to get their paperwork in order, but the issue is the landlord is not going to allow them to be on a lease without a driver's license. So while they're in limbo, they're just not able to get on a lease or even be added to one. So this is becoming quite a big problem for people in limbo. And then there are issues with the VAWA Act, the Violence Against Women. This I would say I've met men in the community where their wives were American like me, and the wife got tip in the bottle, taking the drugs. And then men were, like the role playing that we did, the men were literally left with the kids without their documented status because their wives were too busy tipping the bottle, that they weren't able to complete their immigration status or fix their papers. And they're the main caretaker for children, just like in the role that you played. And I find that to be really troubling. And I mean, what I'm trying to put out there is that this can go for men or women being left behind, by an American spouse that just doesn't care about their, family. So.
Well, what I have seen in the communities, like many of the immigrants without documents, they live in the worst houses, the worst apartments. Like you can see the windows are drafty, and the floors, the walls, the roof, everything is like broken. And I don't know how much they are paid for these houses, but they had to live somewhere, And the conditions of these houses and apartments are terrible.
I'll agree with you. I met one lady who said she paid her rent on time for 9 years, and yet she was too afraid to ever call her landlord to fix a single thing. But he just kept raising her rent every year. She said, I started paying $500, but now I'm up to $785. And it was a 2-bedroom house, like on the north side. I was like stunned. I couldn't believe that they were collecting that kind of money and things were not in order.
So when you live in a place like that, you have the right to ask to the landlord for to repair the windows and the floor and.
Yes, actually, we're able. I'm glad you brought that up, Pablo, because we're able to talk about the city ordinances. Any property that's a rental property must be certified by the city of Grand Rapids. So now, whether it's a multi-unit, which is 2 or more units in one house, or a single-family residence, must have a certificate of compliance. And basically, if you want to know the house that you're living in is in compliance, I would just, and you can let people on your website know, they can go downstairs and look at their furnace, and there will be an inspection sticker. And those stickers are needed on the electrical box, on the furnace, and on the hot water heater to show that everything's in good repair. So a licensed mechanic, a licensed, construction person, a licensed builder needs to come through and check those things, and then the city's called to see the stickers, and they do the checks to make sure there's no peeling paint, so we don't have kids like getting sick and brain damage from lead-based paint. We don't want I can't tell families enough to keep their kids away from old windowsills, because so many kids in the Latino community are getting lead poisoning, especially in the African American community as well. Most of the areas in our city that are, I would say, have a higher poverty rate tend to have some older houses that may not yet be fixed up. And so that's, I'm glad your paper is here to help put this out there.
And I would like to tell you that now we have a show in Spanish, the first show in Spanish here in public access.
Oh, yeah.
And,
the first news show in Spanish, Pablo Bello. I mean,
it's called Tiempo Latino,
Tiempo
Latin
Latino.
Times.
Uh-huh.
And it's in Spanish. It's for the Hispanic community.
Yes.
And we talk about several issues in the Hispanic community. We talk about immigration laws, about legal rights for the people. Many people don't know the legal system here, so they need to know what are the rights when, many of them don't have a driver's licenses, and when the police stop you on the street, they give you a ticket, and you go to the court. And in the court, people is like almost shaking because they don't know what to expect in front of a judge. Like in Mexico, you just go and pay a fine or give money to the police and they let you go.
Yeah, I would like to tell the audience that Pablo is a licensed translator, so he knows what people are going through at the courts and the hospital, and you're with people in their darkest hour.
Yes.
And you see how uninformed people are, just not knowing the laws. I can't tell you, outside of helping people get houses or an apartment, people call and they're like, oh, something happened and I didn't know about something and now we're in trouble. And they're like, what should I do? And I'm like, call a lawyer. Call the lawyer, But again, it's difficult when you can't always speak the language. And
yeah, many of the immigrants don't speak English because they had to work all day. They don't have time to go to school, and they usually work in places, in factories where everyone speaks Spanish. So it's very hard to learn the language if you don't have somebody who's teaching you or somebody who's talking to you in English.
And it's good that you're pointing that out. I mean, I can't even imagine what it would be like to work the hours that a lot of, laborers, immigrant workers that are coming here as laborers are working 12 to 14-hour days. And what I've seen is that people are working sometimes 6 days a week or more. I can't imagine, when are you supposed to fit in English class? I mean, I realize English is around you, but when are you going to have time to interact with other people that speak a different language than you? I mean, it's like, I think people would just be grateful for some time with their kids at the end of the day.
Many immigrants don't know you have the right to live in a nice place, no? If you're paying rent in a place where the windows are working or the doors are working, a nice floor, a nice place to live. No, they don't even know that.
Yeah, people need to know that houses should be safe. Your windows should open and close. They should have locks on them. Your water should run and not run all the time. So when you go to turn it off, it should turn off. Your heater should properly function. I will let you know, I did go into a guy's house one time. He was really afraid to call me. And when I came out, and I would encourage people to, if they have any questions about their lease, to really, call a professional or ask someone else that can read English to check it over. It actually had a paragraph in there that said, by signing this lease, you're giving up all your legal rights. I couldn't believe it. And there was, the house had a separate heater, like a wall heater, and it wasn't working, and there was ice all the way down the door, like on the wall. They couldn't open one of the doors because there was a sheet of ice down it. And then in a front window, there was water running down an electrical outlet. And I explained to him that he did not need to continue giving his landlord money if the house was going to burn down to an electrical problem, and that he needed to call the city right away. But he also needed to take that money and keep it in a special bank account called an escrow account at the bank. And people need to understand that just because your landlord is not fixing things, you still have to keep that money available. So if you went to court, you could at least prove to the judge that yes, you're not trying to avoid paying your rent, and that yes, you do have the money and it's saved right here, but you're not going to give it to the landlord because they didn't do their job, and that is provide a safe, a safe dwelling for you to live in. It needs to be safe and up to health standards. So there should not be like piles of mold. We don't want paint chips. We don't want wires hanging out, or plumbing that doesn't work. We want toilets to flush, showers to work. People need to be able to live their everyday life. But oh, go ahead. Did you have some more questions?
I think another problem, like people live in basements.
Oh.
And there is no, I guess
fire emergency escape. Thanks for
a window, no? How do you call that? This window?
Egress window.
Egress window.
I am so glad you brought that up.
It's just like this space, and there's a small window in one of the corners.
I will be really honest, Pablo. I sell a lot of houses, and people plan on making the basements. They, fill them right up with extra bedrooms. They'll have half their kids, or they'll bring in, friends to rent. By making some rooms in the basement. And I cannot encourage people enough to, spend a little of that rent money that you're getting from your friends and cut some cement out and make a fire escape window, because that will save lives. We just really want to help people save their lives. And again, I'm going to reach out to landlords and say, please open the door of housing. We have families piled upon families because, everyone's crowded on beds in basements, not because they want to, but because no one will open the housing door to people. And this is just not acceptable. We cannot have a community that closes the door of housing in people's face. We just can't have that problem. And, I'm glad that you brought up the basement issue. It's unsafe. If there's a fire starting, people will die and suffocate from smoke inhalation, which brings me to the next issue.
Oh, but let me tell you.
Go ahead.
Some people don't even know their basement can be unsafe, if there is no a fire escape.
Oh yeah, it needs to have at least a door or an egress window big enough for a body to get out of.
And they have the children sleeping in the basement, and if there is a fire on the stairs, how are they going to escape from the basement?
We're going to have to encourage more families to install the special egress windows. I think
so this is something that the city can do for the immigrant community, or to inform that this is
I will tell
unsafe, no?
I will tell you about some preventative measures. There are some federal dollars available to anyone in the community that is a homeowner. If you're renting, your landlord has to give you smoke detectors. There's no way around that. And they have to be 10-year smoke detectors with lithium batteries. But if you're a homeowner and you need smoke detectors, call the Grand Rapids Fire Department. They will know exactly what you're calling about. There's free smoke detectors, one for every bedroom and the basement. So at least we're going to get smoke detectors in people's homes for free. So we want to put that community resource out there. We want you to be utilizing it. And again, we're going to ask you to call in 459-4881, 459-4881. We want you to call in, give us your comments. Pablo is just so awesome here, bringing up all the different topics. And so tell us a little more about what you plan on doing on your show.
Well, this show, Tiempo Latino, is for the Hispanic community, the Latino community. Is if they want to see something in this show, a special topic or issue that we can talk about it, please call 570-2002 and let me know. You know, I want to see this because I know there is people who speaks only English. Well, who would like to learn English, Spanish.
Yes, no, that's fine.
And they would like to see this show, no, in Spanish, so they can practice their Spanish. But mainly this show is for the communities, it's for people to express their desires, their issues, their topics, whatever they want to see in this show. No?
Well, I'm like really, really excited. Grand Rapids doesn't have any other news shows in any other language. So you are like putting us on the map. I mean, as far as I see it, this is progressive. I am like so excited. I know we have great newsprint. We have a few different newspapers out there. We have El Vocero, El Informador, Lazo Cultural. You know, there's La Voz. Don't want it. That's bilingual. I'll plug that. And then let's see. We have a new Latino Deck, Arts and Entertainment magazine, and some wonderful radio stations. And now we're going to have television in Spanish. Yes. And have you decided on a day yet, or you're still in the works?
Well, we have 3 shows already, and we are just waiting for public access to air these shows. And I would like to tell you also that there is we want to talk about several issues in the communities, such as like health. You know.
Oh yeah.
There is this is a big issue in our community. Like many people, many Hispanics, many Latinos are suffering from diabetes.
Oh, that's true.
And so this is a big problem, like in the Hispanic community. There is another issue, your rights as a worker, you know.
Oh yeah,
you have the right to get paid, you know. To get paid on time.
Nothing like a boss that likes to short people's paychecks and challenge them to say something about it.
Yeah, and many people take advantage of the immigrants because they don't have documents. So many they don't get paid, or they don't get paid on time, or they get paid less. Somebody told me the other day that there was a woman that she didn't even know she has the right a compensation work, you know.
Oh yeah.
She was injured in the workplace, and she didn't even know that you have the right to get medical attention. And
we want people to be informed. That is again, that's a really good time to call a lawyer. I explain to people that's why we have attorneys. That's their jobs. They, you know, in the end, they get paid to fight for you. So I love the topics that you're doing, and then you're going to highlight immigration reform, I'm sure.
Yes, yes, we want to. Well, right now there's people is not eating. How do you call this? They don't eat for 1 day or 2 days.
Oh, the fast. Yeah, we can talk about the fast. I'm glad you brought that up since I did help organize a press conference on fasting for fasting immigration reform. Yes, eating liquid onlys.
Okay.
So yeah, like to invite people. It's called Solidarity for Immigration Reform. You can find that on Facebook, just Google it in, Solidarity Towards Immigration for Immigration Reform in Grand Rapids. Actually, the fasters are supposed to come to Michigan. The national group that fasted for, I want to say, 23 days before most of them were hospitalized. I always tell people we are starving for immigration reform, literally. You know, we want our families together so badly that we're willing to starve for it. And who knows, in this next year they might see a few of us chained to the fence. So, you know, we just really want to get people to understand that there's nothing more important in this world than keeping your family together. And the kids right now in our community that don't have their parents here are suffering. And we just really, it's needless, you know, and your taxes pay for it, my taxes pay to keep these kids housed in foster care. Did you know, I looked up, there's 500,000 kids in the United States as of last year, not this year, but last year, in foster care homes that don't have their parents because they were deported.
Yes, and the Hispanic community has been in front, like fighting to get immigration reform. You know, like you know, I guess everyone knows there was a proposal in the Senate. It was passed in the Senate.
Yes.
But didn't pass on the House of Representatives.
Mm-hmm. It still just sits there collecting dust. That poor.
But more important than that is, well, right now, is to stop the deportation of many immigrants now. You know, like they are splitting the families, separating the children from their parents. The parents are in Mexico and the children are here by themselves, like many of them teenagers, I think, and or minors.
I remember when I had actually an exchange student from Spain come and stay with me 2 years ago. And I will tell you, she actually met 2 kids at school that lived alone by themselves that were under 18. One was 15 and one was 17. And they had no parents. They had to, well, thank goodness for the landlord that let them stay. I mean, otherwise, I guess they'd be homeless. Who knows what would happen to them. But here they were kids. One would go to school and then work in a factory all night. And the other kid would just try to pick up odd jobs wherever he could, shoveling or mowing grass, just to try to add a little money. But they had to pay all their bills themselves. There was no other people. So I just think this is senseless that we have kids parenting themselves without their family. I'm just really glad that we're able to educate the public. We just need to stop the family separation, you know, open the door of housing, get people out of their basements. I mean, and I will tell people, I want to tell a good news story. When I first brought up the topic of housing issues, Angie Morales, they have a wonderful radio station, La Mejor GR, and they often have been putting topics on too on their internet radio. And anyways, Angie works at a rental property management company, and I just want to say how much I admire her. She was only on the job 3 months. And she was trying to advertise a place that she worked for. And I said, oh, people should watch out. You know, they'll just keep the application dollar, but they're not going to rent to people that don't, you know, if you don't have a driver's license and a social security card, they've made it really clear in the past that they're not going to rent. And she's like, well, I'm there now. And I'm going to talk to the owner and make sure that he understands that there's a lot of families that may have someone in their family that doesn't have a driver's license, or there's just families that only have passports, and they're still good tenants and they're still good renters. And she proved to her company and has helped them grow a lot. They're really benefiting from housing immigrants, both documented and undocumented, and opening the welcome door. You know, they've done well, and they have it. They've changed. They were the first to change their application that says driver's license or federally issued ID, And on their application, it also says social security number or individual tax ID number. I have to like applaud that company for making the change, for Angie to having courage, to have the courage to speak up. I don't know many employees after 3 months of on the job that would just say, well, you have to change this or I leave. You know, I just think so highly of her that she was willing to just put it on the line. And I did come in and explain what we're talking about today. They did open their door to me at United Properties and allowed me to come in and talk about immigration and immigrants and the issues and why people can't get a driver's license. So I felt, you know, that was really awesome. And I know that they are a member of the Rental Property Owners Association. And let's just hope the message spreads that, you know, welcoming immigrants is a good business. And, you know, and it's helping get people out of basements and improve the bottom line. I mean, everyone's a winner. So I just am like really excited about your new news show.
Oh, let me tell you that you can see the show in GrandRapidsTiempoLatino.com. It's a little bit long, but
No, and you can find it on Facebook.
and you can find it in Facebook and YouTube and
Yes.
in GrandRapidsTiempoLatino.com.
Yes, and if you're in
And soon
yes.
it's going to be aired here in public access too.
Yay!
And we're going to record our 4th show soon, in 2 weeks. So inviting you to watch this show
Thank you.
and
I-
enjoy.
Thanks. And I do want to mention to people too, if they know or if they are suffering from housing discrimination or they have money and they're paying their taxes and they just can't find anybody to rent to them, you need to call and leave a message here with Pablo and I will get on that and get them pointed in the right direction. I do even have better news. The mayor of the city has agreed to meet with me on this issue. So I spoke with him right after the State of the City address, and he really wants to open the door to immigrants and make them feel welcomed. So he's willing to listen about this issue. So I have to applaud people that are in leadership positions that are willing to take action. So we like that. So
we have now the meetings of the government, and they have there is an interpreter, right? No?
Oh yes,
the City Hall.
Yes, and we would like to
meetings.
welcome our viewers. You know, that maybe if you are understanding our program, but your family speaks Spanish, city commission meetings are now translated in Spanish, so you can participate and have a voice. There is a translator there now. So I'd like it more if it was you, Pablo.
And it was the mayor. He made this proposal, and now it's a reality.
I know, that's awesome. And I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. You know, spending your time learning about housing issues, about community services that are available. I hope you really utilize this as an educational tool to help yourself understand culture and many different places where people are coming from in life, whether they're re-entering society or they're a newer immigrant to our community. I'm really grateful for our callers today. It was a very productive show, and we encourage you to join CTV on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th Wednesday of every month. Tune in. We always have some good progressive topics. Thanks again. Thanks for joining us. And this is Cyndi Hicks, real estate agent. Thank you. Yay.
Bravo, bravo.